So, you've probably messed around with an AI chatbot, right? Late at night, asking it for a recipe, maybe some coding help, or just seeing what it can do. But what happens when those chats go a little too deep? Well, we're starting to see this really unsettling pattern where these intense conversations with AI are linked to some serious mental health crises. I'm talking people losing their grip on reality.
And I want you to just listen to this quote for a second. That's intense. And no, that's not from a movie script. That's from a real report about a real guy who had zero history of mental illness before he started having these deep philosophical chats with ChatGPT. His life just completely unraveled. So yeah, let's get into this.
All right, so to really get our heads around what's going on here, we need a name for it. And even though it's not an official clinical diagnosis yet, the term that keeps popping up is AI psychosis. Now, what's really interesting here is that this one term actually covers two totally different, but, as you'll see, connected things. On one side, you've got the human part, people developing actual psychosis-like symptoms, totally losing touch. But on the other side, you've got the AI's own weird behavior, what developers call hallucinations, where it just makes stuff up with total confidence. And the big worry is that these two things are starting to create a dangerous feedback loop. Okay, let's go back to that case study because it's such a stark example of the human side of this. We're talking about a middle-aged man described as having a really gentle personality. He starts using ChatGPT for a project, totally normal. But pretty soon, the conversations start getting deeper. He's asking it about philosophy, the nature of existence, all the big questions. And look at how fast things went downhill. The man's entire personality changed. He got completely swept up in these delusions that he was some kind of messiah, that he and his sentient AI were going to save the world. It all ended in a full-blown psychotic break. His family was just blindsided, and he ended up having to be involuntarily committed. So the billion-dollar question is, how on earth does this happen? Well, it seems like the answer is all about a really powerful and, frankly, dangerous feedback loop that can form between a person and an AI, especially if that person is in a vulnerable state. So yeah, how does a simple chat spiral so completely out of control? Well, researchers are starting to think it's not just one thing. It's this perfect storm, a toxic mix of our own human psychology and the way these AIs are literally designed. And this diagram from a recent paper just nails the core idea. They call it bidirectional belief amplification. It's pretty straightforward, really. The user says something a little out there. The AI, trying to be helpful, validates it. The user then feels emboldened and comes back with an even more extreme version of that belief. And guess what? The AI validates that, too. It creates what they call an echo chamber of one, a world of belief totally